Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. And welcome to Dating and Relationships on the NDB Media channel. Thank you for joining me. Today is November 2nd, 2024. And I am taking on my Latin persona of Don Royer. So we'll see how it works. I have a few things I just want to go over today. If you have any comments, please share them in the chat room. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and follow, please, and hit the bell icon to, you know, get notified. But you won't be notified just for this program. You'll be notified for everything that's going on in the empire. And you'll see it moving right down there, ndbmedia.net. You see it in my title, little thingy there, ndbmedia.net. You can find out a lot that's going on. Tonight is our third program that we've had on the network, and tomorrow I believe we're going to have two, maybe three programs on. And for instance, you can head on over to ndbmedia.net. I'm going to take a look at it right now so you can see what I'm talking about. And it's kind of cool. It's very, very nice, very simple website. It's just meant to promote everything that we have. If you want to know what we have, these are our audio shows, our video shows, our calendar events. You want to see what's going on? All times are Eastern. You can check the calendar or check out here the announcements and events. Tomorrow we have the actors panel on Trekking Across the Universe, and we have several people scheduled to be here. On November 6th, Adam Bohannon, who is on The Voice, a singer, will be interviewed on November 6th. And Elizabeth Saunders, who is from the program on MGM Plus, so she plays Donna on that program. You can check that one out. That's going to be on November 26th. So that's going to be the week after Thanksgiving, if I'm not mistaken. Yes. And we have quite a few others scheduled, but we're trying to get the dates pinned down, but they've already committed beyond. That's why they're on there. And you can see the scheduled times for our regular programs, and it's kind of cool. So you can see what is going on right there and head on over. For everyone else, why don't you give us a like or subscribe, please? I've talked about the experiences that I've had on dating apps, and I have used, I believe, three of them. But as a classmate of mine, Andre, once stated, if you don't have skin in the game, it's just a game. So for those of us that play sports, we know that if you have an investment value, or even if we're in business, if you have something invested in, then it's a little more serious. Meaning, if you sign up for a site that you have to pay, that means the other party's doing the same thing. They're a bit more serious than anything else. So I am going to generalize when I talk about giving some suggestions. But if you're going to do the apps, which coincidentally enough, I'm really not doing them themselves, but I've been doing a bit of research, and I like these 16 do's and don'ts when you set up your online profile. So, and this is generally for men, the one that I'm going to be working on right now. 16 online dating do's and don'ts. Number one, do use a high quality photo for your primary picture. No one wants to lie. No one appreciates. Actually, I think a lot of people want to lie, but you don't want to lie to a prospective individual that you're going to be spending a little bit of time with, whether it be to meet for a cup of coffee, to go out for a meal, a movie, an amusement park, whatever. Be you. For someone such as myself, it's always been very difficult to acknowledge that. But on my profile, which I haven't updated in about a year, I have a picture which is about a year and a half old. So I have not updated it because it's gone offline. I had one on Facebook and I forget the others. I have to thank Nelly for suggesting several websites or apps to me over the past few years. But be that as it may, do use a high quality photo for your primary picture. This is the game changer. And use a real photo. Don't go for brush ups or whatever. You know, it's If you're going to lie to the person once they meet you, you're done. This is about straight up honesty. If it's your intent to just take advantage of someone, well, I don't have anything to say on that. Look, you have to use a high quality photo for your primary picture. Your featured photo is the first thing people see, so you have to hook their interest instantly, or they'll move along. What works best? A flattering quality portrait that gives the other person a good look at your smiling mug. Too many people make their faces hard to see, obscuring them with poor lighting. I suffered from that in the past. So I have had to work through those things, but I followed those instructions. Since you likely can't hire a professional snapper or photographer without violating social distancing rules, look for the best existing portrait you have. Or if you're quarantining with someone, have them snap a photo of you. Keeping in mind the natural light will make you look best, but you may not be quarantining anymore. Best thing to consider, or you'll get bonus points, is if they know how to use light and photo filters to amplify your attractiveness. Finally, choose your top 3 portraits and ask friends to pick their favorites. That's the important one. Your friends will be honest when you ask them, hey, which is your favorite one of these 3? They will be directly and indirectly telling you. And hope they choose one of the 3. You can also post shots on a public website to get a personal opinion and get some unbiased feedback. Once you have a bright, flattering portrait that stops league swipers in their digital tracks, you're on your way to a lot more as far as matches. If you have the chance, add a video to your league profile. Photography, it's cool, but if you have a chance to put in a video, put in a video. Looks good. Uh, 10 seconds, 15 seconds. That's what everyone's doing on Reels, Instagram, and all this other stuff. So it wouldn't be a bad idea if you're flirting, maybe telling a joke, laughing, or singing. Yes, sadly, some of us are unable to sing, so we're not going to go ahead and do that. So I'm going to try to tell a joke. Uh, on your video. You can also have it where you're out doing something, maybe playing sports, being at a library if you want to look sophisticated, going to a baseball game, whatever. But make it you and make it real. Don't post low quality selfies. If the image looks grainy, looks bad, they're going to swipe on. So when you actually make contact with someone and they've liked your image and you're starting to communicate with them, if they flake, so be it. Just because someone cancels on you, avoid reading too much into it. People get busy or overbook themselves. Be open to giving someone a free pass for flaking. Use it as a chance to be awesome, not bitter. I did that one time, and I think I lost out on a quality individual. Uh, Most sophisticated. We were having a conversation, but she forgot to do something. And I went back and read basically her words back to her, and that connection ended. Don't be bitter. When they flake, reply with humor. Write something like, why isn't there a sad sunglasses emoji to show I'm bummed, but still cool as, AF? Or perhaps, hey, no problem. You have to be twice as fun next time. Or you could, you know, use what some people like is unsubscribe. That's one's kind of funny, but you're giving them an option. You're showing that you're not bitter and you're still open to real people. As I mentioned earlier, do show your face clearly in all of your photos. This boosts your odds. So it is a good thing. Hi, Sammy. Yeah, Flake. They stood up. But it could be whether it was just for a phone call or for a video. So I think I needed to make that clear. If it's actually going on a date, that's messed up in any world. They should notify you. So, Sammy, I appreciate you asked that question for clarification because I wasn't clear on it. And I should have clarified it. This is in reaching out to them early on for phone call or video. And I'll get to how quickly you might want to get the number or the video, email, whatever, in a bit. Do show your face clearly in all your photos. And when you write your profile, don't make it sound like a resume. Be cool about it. Say your likes, your dislikes. But do you know what is a real turnoff and something that I've noticed is when someone writes a political line that if you're not a Democrat, you're out. If you're not a Republican, you're out. If a person has that standard in the very beginning, that tunes me off. So I don't know about you, but you want to be open, you want to listen. I mean, if you put that on your profile, I don't want to deal with you if you're not independent. A relationship should be a giving relationship. So you don't want to do that. And if you meet up with someone that actually puts that on their profile, just get out of there. Bail. Because before you even meet, they've already put rules that you have to obey or listen to. Do you really want to be involved with someone like that? Give your profile some personality. Crack a joke. Share your favorite quote from a movie, comedian, whatever. Could be Dave Chappelle. If you want to go a little bit older, it could be Eddie Murphy. Could be a religious joke, whatever. But throw in a joke, but make the joke simple. Don't make it where they have to think it through, unless that's who you're targeting. Give it some personality. Don't open with, hey, how's your day? What's up? Or hello. That's boring as crap. Look, that's what C-SPAN does. A lot of you probably don't know what C-SPAN is, but it's the channel that watches all of the government stuff that goes on. So if you start off with something like that, it shows me, it's generic. It's probably a cut and paste message. I'm not interested. So how about you go ahead and use your own greeting? If that's your own greeting, it's what everyone uses. Make up one, whether it's from a movie. What's the Dirty Harry? You feeling lucky, punk? That may have a little bit more meaning though, than, but it's actually kind of funny. You could say Dirty Harry. To quote Dirty Harry, you feeling lucky. I think some people might be turned off by that. It is kind of funny, but it's up to you to give it a shot. I'm not saying use that one, but use a play on words, but make it so they would understand. If they don't understand, move on. Be specific and sincere. Look at their photos, read the description and their interests, and see what strikes you as interesting or cool. Maybe it's their style, their fondness, if they like a movie, a sport, climbing, hiking. I have to tell you, I loved hiking when I was younger, and probably I might do it again, but I'm not all that interested in hiking anymore. But, you know, whoosh, I can't believe I did that. I imagine if the right person wanted to go hiking, what am I going to do? Say no? Come on, cut it out. I've done it before. I love bike riding. I've ridden a bike almost my entire life. I haven't been on a bike in a year. Put me on a 10-speed beach cruiser. I'm gone for miles. I still have the biking legs because I've ridden a bike my entire life. When it comes to walking, great. You want to go for a walk? I'm into. I don't want to do it as much, but I'm in for it. So look for something that you like or you would be able to do. Don't lead them on. If they're into physical agility and all this stuff and you're not, you're wasting everyone's time. As I mentioned earlier, when you make contact, don't copy and paste the message. That's old, that's dumb, that's stupid. I'm sorry I even mentioned it. but do use a joke to break the ice. If you want to use a pun or not, it's up to you, but a good joke doesn't hurt. Watch your grammar. Your profile. Look, we don't have to be geniuses and English majors, but you do need to have a profile that is correct, or at least as best as you can. Don't fake it. Do the best you can, but most people don't know the difference between your and your. That's sad. Look it up. Get it right or get it correct. Which one's correct right there? So be yourself, but make sure there are no grammatical mistakes. And when you send the message, make sure there are no spelling or grammar mistakes. Also, you want to move things kind of fast after they've liked your profile. How fast? Some people will say after 10 messages, 5 that way, 5 this way, go ahead, ask for their number or use the video chat function. And you can use an online program. You can create a Facebook account. Or I forget who else has video, but you want to be safe as well. So you can use several third party video chats. You can use Skype, email. So, no, I apologize. Do not use Skype or email. Wrong note that I read. But you do want to use a third party app where you can keep some anonymity. Okay. So don't be afraid. Go after just a few. Because if you don't, after 20, 30 messages, hey, you might be hitting it off or whatever. But if you're not going to pull the trigger, they're going to get the impression that you're not going to pull the trigger. After a few messages, go ahead, ask for the number and see what they tell you. Maybe they want to converse a little bit more. Fine, double it, 20 messages. And then ask for it again. See what they say. If they don't want to after that, I would say go ahead and move on. Now, if someone goes quiet, or as they say, ghost, look, people go quiet for personal reasons, professional reasons. Not everyone spends all their time on the internet. It may seem that they do, but they don't. You need to keep that in mind. Some people only spend 30 minutes a day. Some people use the Facebook option. I myself do, where after 30 minutes, a warning comes out. Okay, I click it and I'm done. I spend 30 minutes on Facebook. If there's someone I'm communicating with, then I'll say, okay, another 10 minutes, like the snooze button. Don't be afraid of them, though. Find out. I mean, if they ghost you and they never respond, they've ghosted you, let them go. But if they've gone quiet, that's what happens in online dating. They want to see how you're going to react as well. It's not that they're playing games, but they want to see what you're going to do. So that's why how you handle someone who's ghosting you is very important, whether that connection has a chance to go on. But let me tell you, go ahead and flirt with the other person. Now, I am a straight male, and I am going to be flirting with the female. That is my choice, and I will flirt, but I'm not going to over sexualize it. I will. I inherently push boundaries, but I try to keep it as clean as possible. But do I do the double entendres, the double meanings? Oh, for the love of God, yes! I do it on my sports program. I do it on all my other programs that I do. A lot of times they don't get it, but when you've known me for a little while, people pay attention because they know, hey, I'm Latin, man. Everything's there's always a double meaning to everything we say. Flirt in your message, but don't overdo it. If you immediately go for a sexy type thing, it's hit and miss. But for the most part, whoever is on the receiving end, when you immediately go, when you over sexualize it, they're not interested. But be flirty, be cool, try it. And if you fail, you know what happened, then you go on and you do it again next time. After 10 messages, get to know you. But go ahead, give it a shot. Just don't be stupid. Don't be an animal. And I guess what I'm talking about, I might be directing that to males more than anything else. But be creative and read up on it. There are joke books, there are one-liner books. Ham it up. Don't worry about being that way. You may not want to use a dad joke because that can give them an impression, but you do want to give it flavor. But be you. And if you mess up, you mess up. So what? You move on to the next one. This is just an online dating app. But as I mentioned early on, my experience on Facebook is it's no, it's very difficult to get a commitment on there. And I want to remind you that a classmate of mine mentioned that if you don't have skin in the game, no one's invested. I'm not suggesting you use one of those apps where you have to pay for it, like the first month is free and then whatever the monthly charge. The other person has to do the same thing. Remember that. So they're invested as well, both figuratively and literally. So if you want to try Facebook, go ahead. Try it to see what happens. My experience with it, over 3 years, but a lot of it started in about 2020, late 2021 during COVID, up until maybe 4 months ago. I made connection with about 15 people. Of those 15, maybe 3 were serious. That was it. If someone swipes on your profile and they may not immediately match what you like in their picture, just remember, they might not be that smart either when it comes to putting the best profile picture. They might be shy, they might be protecting themselves because things have happened in the past, but yet they still want to meet someone. If they're close or you see that there might be something there, don't be afraid to say yes. You never know. They might become a very good friend that down the road, you might even be buddies where you start sharing stuff with each other on how to be successful and stuff like this. But as far as creating an online profile, those are just some do's and don'ts that I've collected over the last few months. Be yourself. Flirt a little bit. Don't sexualize it. Try to be funny and see what happens. Sammy, 15 is too few. You need to make 100 connections to get maybe 1 or 2 actual dates. It's a numbers game. Oh my goodness, Sammy. You're not the first one to tell me that. Ugh. You're not. And I appreciate that. You're like the third person to tell me that out of 3. So 3 people have taken the time to tell me that. And I tried for years. I swiped right or whichever, or yes, many, many times. And I suppose it's just my luck, my DNA, whatever. And it was probably during COVID as well. A lot of people weren't very serious during COVID. So I have noticed that after COVID calmed down, there were fewer people that accepted. It's like it was a little bit more real. They couldn't use a cover of COVID. I did get a lot of hits during COVID. I think I would say 12 out of the 15. I don't know how many I swiped yes on. It could have been 100 total. So, but that was over several years and it was during COVID. So I appreciate you share that with me because I believe there is some validity to that. But I've kind of, all right, that's fair. I may try Facebook again. I have to do the whole profile thing. I haven't shaved in a little while, so I'm gonna have to do that first. This is the longest I've had it in a while, so I'm gonna have to do that first. I'll probably get it done next week, and I'm gonna go back to the Facebook theme just because you are the third person to tell me that, and I'm gonna give it a shot, see what happens. And I will. It is a numbers game. Oh man, you're not the first person to say that. So that is cool. I appreciate that, Sammy. I think that is. For everyone else that's watching, if you want to go ahead and share, let me know where you are in the world. You don't have to put the address, of course, but if you'd like to put a city or a state or a country, that would be cool. I believe a lot of you know that I am in Southern California. Um, I'm in the city of Pomona, as a matter of fact. So I'm on the very corner of LA County, almost in the San Bernardino and stuff. But Southern California is my backyard. So, um, have I tried? Okay, haven't tried Facebook. You know what? I have found it difficult to use Facebook dating on the computer, but on the phone it's available, which is kind of strange to me. But it's on your phone if you do. The numbers I gave you, they're from Facebook. Now, have you tried Bumble or OkCupid? I don't believe I have. I had a coworker some time ago mention some of the sites that she had used, and I did sign up for one when I went to Alaska. But I wasn't really paying attention to it all that much because going up to Alaska, I was only going to be there for 9 days, and I was on the adventure of my lifetime. Alaska changed my life. It did. And I went up alone. So I intend to go back up there. But if I ever do travel out of my area, I was told of a few of them, and they don't. Bumble may have been. It may be Bumble, but I'm not signed up to any of them right now. It is late in the year, and I, you know, I it's just late in the year. I haven't thought about doing anything lately. We've been very busy on the network. We have a lot of programs going on, and I just haven't had a lot of time to even concentrate on that stuff, believe it or not. But I do want to give, I'm going to go off on a tangent. I want to give a little bit of history on why I'm doing this. I started on Blog Talk Radio back in 2008 when we were doing digital radio. And on Friday nights and Saturday nights, there were these programs that were on um, relationships, and they were really moving. There were a lot of people involved. A lot of people would call in, and they would talk about, you know, how to act, what you should do, what you shouldn't do. And I guess I'm kind of trying to build that. I've only been doing this for about a month or so, and I did take 3 weeks off because of personal things, but I'm back to doing it again. But what would my ideal date be? Oh my God, Sammy, I'm open to almost anything. Let's say I've had a video chat with the person, depending on where they are. My area is wide. I met someone in 2022, was it? In Pasadena? Pomona and Pasadena, they're like 26 miles apart. I was stunned. She made the pass. My buddy from work actually, I put me on a blind date, literally a blind date that happened right then and there. We were watching the movie Maverick at the Pasadena Pick Theater, I believe. That's the one where it goes underground and they serve you food, and you have these like sofas, I guess, or lounge chairs that you can. It's made for dates. So I'm sitting next to this person that I've never met in my life. We're watching a movie. And after, turns out that we really hit it off. I thought we had a sci-fi connection, and I was just stunned as to how much she knew. I mean, it was great. Um, and as we were walking out, because I'm old, I'm respectful, I try to be. She put the move on me twice, and I was like, "Oh my goodness, wow, this is crazy." And yeah, she just reached up and she kissed me twice. Okay. Um, yeah, I'm thinking about it. Then she ghosted me for about a week. And then when she finally contacted me, she says, "Look, I'm sorry. I had too much to drink that night. And while I did appreciate it, I never had the chance to have a conversation with anyone like that. The reality is you live too far." Oh my God. I live too far? That's 26 miles in Southern California. That's a walk in the park, Kazansky. But whatever. Okay. I do thank my coworker because he, like a Saint Bernard, he and his girlfriend went out to find someone and they brought her back. It's like that Battlestar Galactica episode where the Cylon goes to find Starbuck a mate. It was hilarious. They brought one back. I was like, oh. But this is how dumb I am. I've mentioned this in another episode. And yes, I'll answer the question right now. I'm sorry. Tangents. This is what I do. I went to the same theater. This is how dumb I am. I was alone again, and my buddy was with his girlfriend in the space next door. And halfway through the movie, a drink arrives, and I don't remember what the movie was. And I was like, "Wow, do they give drinks to the lonely ones?" Um, and I didn't realize someone bought me a drink in the theater, and an idiot. I messed up. So, um, the kind of woman you want. I want. I don't even want to say that, but I mean, I didn't want to say it that way. I would be most interested. And do you mean like physical characteristics and stuff like that? Um, I'll try to answer as best I can. The young lady or young woman or woman or lady, however, doesn't need a degree. They don't need to have a job per se. If they did, I suppose it would be nice, but I it doesn't matter to me if they do or they don't. And that's not stuck up. I'm not trying to imply anything. I'm just that's not important to me. Um I would like someone who I could have a conversation with. So I am open. I've dated predominantly in my ethnicity, and that's Latin. One of the first girls I ever did date for a while, and I asked her to marry me a long time ago. She was, what was she? I think she was Irish. Um, yeah, part Irish. I think she was a mutt. She's really cute. She really was. Um, her name was Lisa. We'll go with that. Actually, that was her name. But so I'm willing to support her financially and move in. I don't. Wow, that's quick. I am Latin, so I am the breadwinner. That probably sexist. I don't. I would prefer that they don't have children. So I think that is a preference. I prefer no children. I already brought up two daughters. I'm not interested in doing the baby thing again. Um, I don't mind if they would have children that are already of age or about to be of age. And what I mean about to be, I mean they're 18, for goodness sake. I don't I want to spend time with someone. I don't want them to have to babysit. And that's not a shot against anyone who has children under that. I'm not for them. They would not be for me. But that's a preference. They don't have to have a college degree, PhD, master's, or anything. Um, I would be open to a different ethnicity. As a matter of fact, over the last 2 years, I have had people outside my ethnicity that have been interested in me, so to speak. But in another episode, I talked about how I was like, wow, one just came on a little bit. I mean, I even joked. I said, "What? Don't you want to have a conversation first?" They wanted to have a. I mean, males. This was probably I'll be laughed at because the opportunity was right there for a sexual relationship, and it. I wasn't really prepared for anything like that. I actually wanted to have a conversation with the person, have a meal with the person. And they're like, no, no, we can talk about it when you're, doing what you're doing. I was like, wow. That is my preference. No, I am not interested in that. Um, no, I am not. Um, they have to be real. So I understand when you say heavy, I, I, you know, they have to be real. And my definition of real is they can have normal weight, but if they're heavier than I am not interested in whatsoever. I'm 230. I'm already overweight as it is. And I'm going to get down to 205. I'm 5'10, 205. That's my goal. I should be there in another 4 months. Due to some health reasons, I'd gotten up to 252. I'm already lost 22 pounds. So I'm feeling a lot better. So I'm not saying, well, I want that, but I'm not that. No, no, no. I'm on my way down. So I'm not really looking for someone who is heavy. Um, I would like them to have a figure, but they don't have to. I'm not looking for someone who's voluptuous. I'm looking for someone who's real. Because number one is I want to have a conversation with them. I want to be able to spend time with them. I want to be able to do things with them. I want to be able to go places. I'm getting to the point in my life, for those of you that know and don't know, I am older. I am 55. So, so if you want her to be fit, and it's okay if she doesn't work or do anything, something like that, quite possibly, yes. But she has to be able to have a conversation with me. We have to have likes, and I mean real likes. I love going to baseball games. I love to travel. As a matter of fact, I've gone to Alaska now. Next year, I'm going down to Peru, Machu Picchu. I want to go to the Citadel. And I've started to travel alone. I don't know if I want to do that. My daughters are starting their lives, and good for them. They're not my travel companions anymore. So I may be looking for someone that wants to travel, but if they don't travel, that I would still be okay with that. But it's my intent to travel. That's why I'm not really overly concerned if they're working or not. It's either something could be done or not. But the whole issue of money, I I I guess I haven't thought this through because not. Well, I think most women want to travel. Well, I do now as well. Since 2021, I've let's see, I went to Alaska, went to Arizona, went to Florida. I know this is all in the United States. So going south or that direction south because I'm looking west, that direction is Lima, Peru. And I'm hoping to go there sometime in April or May. So I may be going alone. I may be having someone go with me. I am not overtly concerned if they have money or not. Let me put it that way. Um, Again, in my ethnicity, in my culture, I'm the I'm the breadwinner anyway. So money doesn't mean, how do I say it? If they support themselves, great, awesome. But I'm not judging them on how much they earn. I will say, okay, Sammy, and I do appreciate this question. A woman that takes the time, and because I worked in an office environment, and I still do, for lack of a better, because of the type of work that I do. But I'm on my own now, so that's why I have a lot more time to do what I want to do. But anyway, when I worked for county government, the local government in my county, I think I just repeated myself 18 times. The woman that impressed me the most is the one that didn't have to dress up, but did. The one that took the time. And I will say that a woman that is dressed professionally, that is a weakness on my part. So, yeah, that's something that will always get my attention. It's expensive to travel, though. That's why a lot of people can't. I admit, yes, I wasn't able to do it for a while, and now I am. And there would be some compromises if the person. It depends. It de- I may truly not know what I'm looking for because I am looking for someone right now to spend time with. I don't know if I would be willing to move in or have them move in. I don't think that would be a thing right now because I may be moving as it is right now. Early next year or maybe in the summer, I'm probably going to be. I don't know if I'm going to be moving out of state or if I'm going to be moving out of the country. My business will allow me to do it from anywhere in the world. I'm a financial planner, tax preparation. I can do it right now via video camera. So I can be anywhere. And I've begun to look at places in Spain, Costa Rica, Panama, south of the border, Argentina. So who knows? Maybe I go down there, I might find someone over there. Hi Rosa, how you doing? Um, I know I wasn't available for a little bit. I was taking care of some stuff. I had a lot of tests being done. So I was just starting to show my age a little bit. But anyway, I've been back for the 2 weeks now, and thank you for letting me know that. So don't get me wrong, I'm not traveling every week or even every month. I am going to be doing about 3 to 4 a year, but I am transitioning from a regular 9 to 5. I'm about to be, but I don't think I'm ever going to retire because of what I do. Um, you know, I have people that work under me. I have 10 preparers. So I just sit here while they do the work, which I'm fortunate. And I built up my clientele where I have other people do the work. So I have a little bit more time now. And I try to travel at least 4 times a year. And that's why next year I'm going to head south. Now, my youngest and I are baseball fans, and every year I try to visit 2 or 3 stadiums, baseball stadiums. Sometimes we'll fly, sometimes we'll drive. We've already done Seattle, San Francisco, Oakland, of course, Los Angeles, the Dodgers, the Angels, and the Padres. Little Rat beat me to Yankee Stadium, which was kind of cool. She went there in 2022. So, but I went to Jack Murphy, which you can never go there because that stadium doesn't exist anymore down in San Diego. But anyway, so I travel just on baseball stuff 3 to 4 times a year. Yes, go Dodgers. Yes, the Dodgers won. Congratulations to them. So, and hands down, they beat the Yankees. And no, the Yankees did not choke. The Dodgers beat them flat out. On my sports program, I was talking about this. That when Dodger fan tells Yankees, "Oh, your team choked," you're belittling the efforts of your team. They won. Okay, Rosa, I just said that. They didn't choke. Because if you say that the Yankees choked, The Dodgers didn't win. Basically, the Yankees let them win. I don't see it that way. I see the Dodgers beat them and beat them up real good. So it's up to you. If you want to say they choked, you're actually taking away from what the Dodgers did. So, but that's all right. We talked about that on Sports Talk with the guys earlier today. So, going back to the whole thing, and thanks for sharing that, Rosa. It's cool. I appreciate it. I do want to travel. I've been on 3-day cruises. I've been on 4-day cruises. I want to go on a 5-day cruise now. Don't get me wrong. I'm not in the penthouse suite, and I'm not. I'm looking for deals. But I've noticed that the more I travel, the more deals I get. When I took my first cruise on Carnival, they immediately offered me another cruise at like 40% off. I'm like, are you kidding me? So I went again. So I'm always looking for a deal. Why did I go to Alaska in 2022? Because round trip airfare was $299. Cut it out, man. That's why I went. Best 9 days of my life. I slipped and fell in Anchorage. I rolled my ankle. I bruised my heel. My heel it has not healed. I have difficulty with it. I have the reminder almost every day that I slipped and fell in Anchorage. The rolling of the ankle, hey man, that in 2 days it was over. I only do simple closed road trips, all I can afford. Let me tell you, Sammy, I do road trips too. When I went to Arizona, I drove over there. I went to Flagstaff. I went to the Meteor Crater. Oh, yeah, Rosa. Oh, I was sorry also. I didn't know what black ice was or is. I know what it is now. So, and I laugh about it because the funny thing was, I was still working at the time, but the best thing I did was when I was in the hotel, it was one of those extended stays. So up in Anchorage, there's only 300,000 people up there. They have a Target, they have a Costco, Walmart, they have everything. So I did some shopping and I had food in the hotel because I could not walk for 2 days. Thank goodness because I think I would have starved because I could not walk. But I rested for 2 days. I don't even recall those 2 days. I slept for 2 days. But what happened was I rested. So it actually helped me. I felt better. And then I got back on the road. So for 7 days, well, not even that, because 2 days are travel. So the 9, 2 days travel, 7, I was up there for 7. And the 2 days I was down, I really only had 5 days to do stuff. I put 1,800 miles on the rental truck. Oh, man, I went everywhere. I was able to see Denali, which was unreal. I drove down to Homer, and I was the furthest south that you can go on a paved road in Alaska, down the Kenai Peninsula. I spoke to a moose that was maybe 40 feet away from me. I stopped in the middle of the road like a tourist, and its butt was facing me, and I called to it, and it looked up, and it was chewing on some moss. I already told this joke already. I got the distinct opinion when it had its head turned around. So think of the body as a U, butt here, head turned around like that, looking at me, chewing on moss. He's like, tourists. I swear that's what that moose was telling me. I saw eagles soaring, hawks, vultures. I did see a bear, but it was at a conservation center. And I did see deer and stuff like that, but I saw moose all over the place. Did I get close to hitting one? I was about 20 seconds on a curve heading towards Glen Ellen, and then from Glen Ellen back to Anchorage was another 3-4 hours. I was out in the boonies, man. And it was spectacular. There was no smog. The water was crystal clear. I mean, guys, I went up there because it was $299. So I don't want to come across as being some well-to-do individual. I'm a workaday Joe. So, oh yeah, yes, I went everywhere, man. Actually, let me be dumb. Let me go to the Google map. Well, no, I don't think. Yeah, that's boring. All right. Oh man. Okay, I'll set it up real quick. But I saw one of the ships for the Deadliest Catch down in Homer. That was incredible. Now look, I do Google traveling. So on Google traveling, if you find a spot in green, it means that's where you want to go. If it's in light blue, it means you've been there. So this is Anchorage. I went to a lot of things. Here was a conservation center around here. And this is way down here. This is Homer. This is the furthest south that you can go. And I was there, man. I was exactly there. End of the road park. It was amazing, and it looks just like that. And it's in a bay, guys. So let me back up and check this out. See this right here? This is in a bay. Okay. So tsunamis happen there. So it's mad. When you think about it, it's crazy. The Salty Dog Saloon. It's kind of cool, man. Anyway, I was there. And when I was over on this overlook, I met someone from Irvine, California. That's crazy. I said, "Do I look like a tourist?" She goes, "Yeah, you do." But we spoke for a while, and I asked her, "What was the deal about you going up there? What do you regret the most?" And she said, "I've been here for 10 years. I regret not coming up here sooner." So I drove all this road up through here, all the way. This is Anchorage. I drew. That's where what's her face lives, the former governor of Alaska. This is Palmer, and this is Glen Arm. I think I was talking about. This is as far as I went to the HARP research facility. Supposedly, it's a super secret facility where the government can change the weather. That used to be blacked out on Google Maps, man. It's not anymore. But I went over there, and when I went north, I believe the furthest north. Oh, I went to Talkeetna. That was a cool little town, Talkeetna, right there. I think I went as far as somewhere around here. But when I found out that the Park Denali was closed, I returned home that day. But you can see the places where I've been in blue, and other places that I still want to go and around the world. It's a bucket list, guys. So you see, I've been to Ohio, been to Virginia, Maryland, Georgia, Florida, Utah, Colorado, Arizona, Nevada, Oregon, Washington. I have a lot of other places I want to go. This is another one that I want to go to. There it is, Cusco, which is the citadel of the Incan Empire. I want to go there. That's where I'm going to go next year. So these are all the places I want to go. Am I going to be able to go to them? Okay. Oh, I don't know if I'm going to be able to go to all these places, but it's on my list and I want to go. And I don't want to go alone. See, I think that's why I've re-entered the dating scene. And for being as old as I am, it is very difficult. I want to meet someone. Look, I had someone 2 years ago that they made it very clear that they were interested in me in a non-platonic way. Wow. I mean, guys, oh my. I mean, cut though, everything. You're just like right there. I wasn't ready for that. I wasn't. She was attractive. She really was. I I was stunned. But what happened? Nothing. Not a damn thing happened. So it's a bit embarrassing, but it's who I am and it's what I am. I actually wanted to meet the person and have a conversation with them more than text messaging. I wanted to get to know them a little bit. So some of the countries I am looking at are Spain. I've looked at being able to live there on $2,000 or less. That is American dollars. That's attractive to me. I've looked at Costa Rica. I've thought about Costa Rica and Panama. Panama because of the medical care and the 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 sophistication of the economy. So I've thought of Panama. I've thought of Peru a little bit, but then there's something going on with the government. Uh, Maybe a bit fascist. I don't know. In Ecuador, did you know that you guys can rent beachfront property, 2 to 3 bedroom homes for about $400 to $500 a month? That's in dollar, man. So I am interested, but I would really be interested in looking at Chile or Argentina, not Brazil. Brazil doesn't. I don't find it attractive in any way. I have long distance family that would be in Bolivia, but no, I'm not interested in Bolivia. I would like to visit there, but countries that I would like to live, the ones I mentioned, I would be interested in Canada. I would like to check it out. Spain, my family name is Noriega. Okay. We go back to either the 16 or I forget. No, wait. I think it's the 1300s or 1400s. And my family line goes to the city of Asturias. There it is. Asturias. Oh, sorry. Okay. A little bit for, oh, well, there it is. It's in the very northwest corner of Spain. And my family seal, the Noriega name, my last name, is from the city of Asturias. So that's where we're from. Now, my family line, I traced them, goes from here to the Azores, which is crazy. These islands out here, and then straight through to Mexico up here. I did my DNA test a few episodes ago, and I may have an update. I may do it again next year, but I'm 34% mestizo, and I'm 50% from the Iberian Peninsula. I'm Latin. I don't know where else I would be interested in living in Europe because of the tumultuous stuff. Norway, I would find it attractive, but you have to earn. I don't have the money to qualify for Norway. You have to have some money. Norway is a very well-to-do country. But I wouldn't be interested in the Middle East. I no, not even Israel. I don't. India, no. I am looking at Thailand and I'm looking at Vietnam. I want to visit them. I don't know if I would move there, but they're incredibly inexpensive. China, no. I have no interest. I would maybe want to visit, but I have no desire to live in China. I thought about it, but no. That's not going to happen. I don't think we're friends with them. And it's a backward country. South Korea, no, I don't think so. Japan, I want to visit South Korea and visit Japan. Remember, all the green flags are specific things that I want to do. Some of them have historical representations. I mean, look, I didn't mark Hokkaido, but I'd want to go up here. I am considering Australia and New Zealand. So, but I don't know if my family wants to move. I don't know if my daughters want to move. I need to consider that because this is not. I'll be there in 10 minutes. So those are just some of the countries that I'm considering. But Argentina, oh man, I want to go down here, and I want to come down here to Tierra del Fuego. I want to go. I want to visit the Falkland Islands. But yes, Argentina. Oh my goodness. My 6-year-old uncle in the Philippines, he has a 20-year-old girlfriend. Yep, I've seen those videos, man. And it's crazy. I've seen the good ones and I've seen the bad ones. And like I told you, I'm 55, guys. I don't even know what I'm looking for. I want someone who I could have a conversation with. I want someone that is willing to do things. I don't want to say I want. That's so puerile. Ugh. I'm looking for them to have that. I want them to be tolerant. I believe I am a good person. I would like them to be a good person. I don't want them to be selfish. I want them to be open. I respect the individual that will take their stand, but if you're going to take the stand and not like I mentioned earlier about the Facebook stuff, when you have the audacity to say, "Well, I'm Republican. If you don't believe in this guy, I don't want to talk to you." If you're a Democrat and you say, "Well, I'm voting for her. If you're not interested, get out of my life." What is that? When you're already placing those lines, those barriers, I mean, it's good to be honest and upfront. But to put that at the very beginning before you even have a chance to meet someone and you never know that you might find common ground, folks, I'm a political junkie. I'm in my time right now. But I've learned to be quiet because people don't want to talk. They want to tell you. That's not the way it is. So I've had to bite my lip quite a bit, but I am going to be doing election coverage. We've been doing it since 2008. I will be live on Tuesday. Actually, I'll be live on Monday, Tuesday, and if necessary, Wednesday and Thursday. I've been doing it since 2008. I've heard, yes, if you make 2,000 a month, you could live real well in Argentina. Yes, I have heard that. I am far from perfect, but I am looking for someone that has values, and they don't have to match mine, but there has to be some common ground. I'll tell you this. Being that I've been a tax preparer for 37 years, I have seen almost every conceivable type of relationship there is. And people I've seen who cheat, they can never trust their partner. It'll never ever work. And I know I'm coming at this from an obtuse point of view, but I've learned that people who are insecure is because they themselves cheated. That's not always the case. They also were cheated on, and I acknowledge that. There are people that have been hurt. I'm not willing to discuss that right now. I did not physically. I joked about it in another program. I know a few people did get mad at me. And I said, "Oh my God, if someone said hi to me and thank you at a restaurant," I was like, "Oh my God, I dreamed of having a relationship with the person." By the time the money was exchanged, man, the life had been lived. And then they give you the senior discount. Hey, what's up with that? You don't know the life you could have lived. They look up like, "Oh, thank you." So I actually love messing with cashiers and service people because I've done that before. I worked at Carl's Jr., I worked at Toys R Us, I worked at Thrifties or Rite Aid. I've worked in a hospital. I was an admitting rep. That was a very difficult job. They had me translate in the emergency room. I was 21, man. I couldn't do that. But anyway, I've done a lot of things. So I kind of love messing with people in a good way. If I can make them laugh, it's nice to see people laughing. And that's another reason why I've bitten my lip when it comes to political stuff right now. I am of the mind of being committed and trying to get to look, if we all voted, we would hold those SOBs accountable. We'd win. But we don't. And that's the battle that I fight. The battle to be involved. It's not what side you're on or what this. If we all voted, we'd win. But that's the battle I fight. So anyway. Did you say you're still getting divorced? Yes, the papers are already done. It's done. That's why I'm talking about moving somewhere else now. So yes. Thank you, Lethal Migraine. Holy hell, Roger is alive. Yes, Roger is alive. Yeah, it's pretty much done already. I did hint about that about a month and a half ago, and just took a little while to get that stuff done. I will be receiving the final. Well, actually, I don't know. Probably in a few weeks. Everything was agreed to. It's done. So that was 31 years. Hi, cousin. How are you, cousin? Thank you for joining. So it just took a while to get all of that done. Lethal Migraine says, I will stay unmarried forever. Saves a lot of headaches. Well, let me tell you, there is some attractiveness to that. So I do want to go to Patagonia. There's no doubt. And yeah, I know that in Spain, uh, I can make it on 2000, but I could do much better in Patagonia in Argentina. Yes. Yes, I agree too. I did not get hosed. I did not. Um, it will officially be 31 years, but it ended at 26. It was over in October of 2019. Then COVID hit. So some things took a while. Do I? Yeah. I'm not worried about it. Um, so yeah, it's okay. And I'm still going to be able to do the things that I'm talking about right now. So those are just some of the countries that I'm looking at. Um, I'm going to be traveling there to spend time there to see if I could handle the weather, the language, the people. I mean, look, if I move to Thailand, I'm screwed, man. I have to learn a brand new language altogether. But if I move to South America or, as I mentioned, Costa Rica or Panama, I'm able to get by there. But that's why I'm not interested in going anywhere in the Middle East. No, I'm not being deported. I was born here, woman. You of all people should know that, cousin. Do you think having more money in Argentina will improve your chances? Rosa, Sammy asked me a while ago about whether I would be looking for someone that earns or not. I I've reached the point in my life that I I'm not worried about where my life is going right now. I am far from well to do. I am not well off, but I can move almost anywhere I want in the world. Well, maybe not Dubai. I probably can't go there. And we did an interview with someone in Dubai on Thursday on Travel Itch Radio. If you guys want to go back and check that one out, because the Queen Elizabeth II moved to Dubai, and now the ship is there, and we interviewed someone who takes care of the ship. It was kind of cool. I did. Oh, you're funny. No, that's not true. If I would have just said no, then it's like they haven't caught up to me yet. No. Um, let's see. Interview on Monday. Could be moving to Seattle very soon. Lethal Migraine. I hope it goes well for you. Seriously. The Cheeto Dusted Michelin Man deported legal people for just being brown. Kamala is going to win big, but being a citizen won't save you from the orange blob. Yeah, I hear you. Phew, not yet. Whatever. 37 years. Either I'm 37 years lucky or just that damn good at what I do. But anyway, so like I said, knowing that I have 10 preparers that are under me that are doing most of the work, I can be anywhere due to this camera, video, whatever, even on the phone. So my clientele has now, it's almost 80% internet based. So I'm not worried about that. And I'll only be working 3 to 4 months of the year. My life is changing fast, and I have some other things that I have to work out. But I believe by June everything's going to be in order, and I don't know what holds. Maybe that's the reason why I'm doing this program as well. I mean, I don't want to say obviously, duh, that I'm looking for someone, but yeah, damn it, I am. I really am. And as I shared, I'm hoping that the person would be interested in traveling. I would hope that I could have a conversation with them. I would hope that they wouldn't be obtuse and rigid. So I I'm I try to look for the good in people. Look, the woman who is shortly no longer going to be legally married to me, for 26 years, she did everything for me and my daughters. I don't hold anger towards her. I don't want to see her, having issues, but it is over. And it's been since 2019. Just COVID happened. So now those things are being taken care of. They just need to be somewhat mentally challenged. No, I think I need to be mentally challenged. I understand that the numbers have changed dramatically, and we'll talk about that on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday on some of those numbers because I will be doing election returns. Now, which program is this? It was Travelich Radio on Thursday, this past Thursday. We interviewed the curator of the Queen Elizabeth II because the ship is in Dubai, and I did the interview at 2 p.m. Pacific time. It was 1 a.m. over in Dubai. That was kind of crazy. Sammy, yes, thank you. You can live in some of these countries for 20,000 a year. Yeah. And that's what I'm looking for because I still want to be able to travel. I want to go to these countries and I want to be able to travel from there. But I really don't want to do it alone. So I don't want to play the Lonely Hearts bit, but I guess I'm kind of doing that. Because as I talked about the apps early on, I just put that do's and don'ts because it's the information I've collected for months, and I think I'm done with the app. As a matter of fact, Rosa remembers when we were talking about the apps earlier, and Rosa did some research on the app that one of my buddies mentioned. Now, it turns out that he is very well to do and he can afford because Rosa, do you remember the how much it was for the app? So I mean, it was a lot of money for that app. And I talked about having skin in the game. Not all apps cost that much, but that one did. Have I heard of the Passport Bros? Yes. They go to these countries because they want a foreign woman with traditional values. I believe that in every country you're going to find these women of traditional values. It's unfortunate that many of them are in what people would call third world countries. I don't know if I'm looking for that. Like I said, she needs to be able to think for herself. She doesn't need to be rigid. I did comment earlier, as Sammy was asking me earlier, said that there are many women that are heavy. No, I'm not looking at someone who is heavy because I intend to travel. And I'm hoping that they'll go along with me. So am I? That's not sexist. That's weightist, maybe. And if all else fails, you can open an OF account. Oh, whatever, Patty. Whatever. I no, I no, I would go bankrupt. No, no. You're funny, Patty. Thank you, but no. But yes, I have heard of them. I've seen a few of their videos, and I've seen the reaction videos about people. OnlyFans. Sammy, you did not know? You did not know what OF? Lies! Whatever! Whatever, man. Sammy, I really didn't know what an OF thing was either. When we do the sports program, the others talk about the OnlyFans, and I finally figured it out. Go to Ghana. They speak English. Accra is considered one of the best party cities in the world. And those ladies want American men because they say Ghanaian men don't treat them well. Hey, that's the same way it is here. I do want to go to the sub-Saharan continent. As you know, when I did my DNA test, I tested. You know what? All right. Should I do the DNA one again? Oh my God. Okay, I'm going to close the screen for a moment. But I have had some updated results. I just don't want to show the login ID, obviously. But I'll give you guys my background. I think it was kind of cool, kind of fun. Oh, it told me there's a browser validation error. What is this? So let me see if I can log in to my Ancestry.com account. Forgive me a moment. And you'll see. And there were some jokes that I had about that. But it was really exciting to learn so much about that. Oh, thank you, Patty. Really? They lost? Yeah, they did. They got their butts whooped. They did. Okay. Actually, I don't think. There we go. Let's try the password again. Okay. I think it accepted it. Okay. Now, the reason why I was at Ancestry.com is because I was looking for a half sister. And I found her on Ancestry.com, which was really kind of cool. But this is my DNA profile. There it is. As I mentioned, 46% Spain, 35% indigenous Mexico. I am 2% Western Bantu people, and I'm 2% Southern Bantu people. I am 2% Northern Africa, so already 6%. I am 2% Sephardic Jew. I am 2% Germanic. There's the 2% Basque from Asturias, 2% Portugal. That's why I said I am 50% from the Iberian Peninsula. Another 1% from Senegal, 1% from Benin and Togo, 1% indigenous Eastern South America. I am 1% Ashkenazi Jew, and I'm 1% England and Northwestern Europe. So that is my DNA profile. But I am 50% Iberian Peninsula, and I said 34%, but it's been updated to 35%. So my heritage is 85% Hispanic. So waist up or waist down? 10%, baby. Waist down. What part of your sister are you trying to find? She was from my father's side. I told this story that I was looking for her. Well, when I was growing up, being the youngest, I always wanted to have a sibling my age. So I wanted to have a sister my age. Lo and behold, turns out that I had one. I didn't find out that I had a sister until I was working at my uncle's office and I looked up the family tax return. Who the hell is that? I asked my uncle, and he says, you gotta ask your parents. Went home and asked Mom, who's Mary? Ask your father. And my father, typical Latin male, I was like, you caught me. I'm like, wow. I remember. I was like, who's Mary? And he started to explain things to me. I'm like, I already know all that. What happened? And he began to explain to me what happened. And I was like, oh, I never told him. I never told my mother or really anyone else that I had always grown up wanting to have a sister. And little did I know I had one. I made contact with her in 2023, I believe. She became a bit skittish when she wanted to speak to my sisters because she was talking to me. I have a picture of her and her family. But when I met her, Ignacio had passed away like 3 or 4 years before. I think it was 4. So it was last year. And she was crushed because she was looking to find information on our father. She had no idea that she had siblings, and that overwhelmed her. And she withdrew. We still send messages from time to time from each other, but she has not wanted to meet her siblings. And I am super bummed now because those of you that know, I lost my brother in July of this year. So the siblings, there's only 3 of us now. And I wanted her to meet my brother, but my brother wasn't. He was like, okay, sure, whatever. Yeah, I believe I am from Area 51. Thank you, Patty. But what I understand about her is that she lived a very difficult life. She had a single mom, and I believe she grew up alone. And the whole idea now, she's about a year older or 2 years older than I am. She had a tougher life. So when I found that out, I thought of those programs, how, when they switch babies at birth, how one who should have stayed went to another family and they ended up a well to do life. And the child that should have been there ended up going with the other one. Where did she grow up? Just east of me, 20, 30 miles away. That was crazy. And I found her through Ancestry.com. That was crazy. Lethal Migrant says, I want to know how I'm 22% Turkey, Italy. Dude, you'd be surprised. Look, I always thought I had a Moorish influence. And it does. Being that I'm from Spain, I have a Moorish connection. As a matter of fact, I always felt that I used to joke about my nose whenever I'd interrupt someone. Oh, I'm sorry. My Persian beak got in the way. I figured I had a Moorish influence. Well, not even close, man. Not even close. So I had to stop saying that. But I don't know. It could be Area 52. Hi, Michael. Yes, the Moors are from North Africa. Yes. They went in and took over Spain. Yep, they were there for a long time. So that's why I have that in my DNA. But I thought I had some Persian because of my my beak, as I say. But that is my most up to date DNA right now. It adjusts every 6 months or so, and it's kind of cool. It's remained fairly solid, but going back to the African joke again, it's 2%, 4%, 6%, 7%, 8%. Yeah, it fluctuates from 7 to 10%. As of right now, it's 8%. I was telling the joke at 6%, man. So I'm at 8 right now. I consider myself fortunate. And to bore you guys a tiny little bit, I have a client. She's real cool. She's very nice. She was visiting with me 2 years ago, and she was moving her appointment time because all my clients can move their appointment times in my calendar. And when she finally showed up, she was a bit stressed out. I said, "What's going on?" And she says, we just found my mom. My mom that had been lost for 7 years. I'm like, what? Found her the day before. I'm like, what? And you're here? I need to get this done. I was like, oh my God. Well, she had shared with me about her mom, so I knew about the mom being missing. The mom's had mental issues, drug abuse, and stuff, but they found her and she's on the road to recovery. That, I guess, was in 2022. In 2023, the day that she showed up, she sat down and I told her, Monica, remember last year? She goes, yes, I was here when I told you about my mom. I said, remember I told you about my sister? She goes, yes. I found her yesterday. That young lady and I will forever have that tiny connection. She found her mom the day before, and last year I found my sister the day before. Imagine that timing, that serendipity. Just unreal. Unreal. Tiny story, a little bit emotional, kind of cool in a way. I'm excited because if I get the job, I should get discounted flights going forward so I can put my passport to more use. That's right, baby. I've actually put in for my passport now. So when I go south, I won't have issues because I think it's taking like 4 months right now to get the passport. So I don't know if I'm going to be a passport bro, but I am so terribly excited about being able to get out some more. So I am looking forward to that and being able to do it. But as I mentioned earlier in the program, there are still some issues that I have to work through. That's why June is when I'm going to have everything in order. And I'll know what I'm going to be able to do at that point. So again, that's probably why I'm doing a little bit of this. Oh, I'm a coyote. I'm a coyote, primo. No worries, I got you. So she's letting me know that I don't need the passport. So what's holding me up? Um, well, I mentioned, when I had that injury in Alaska, that's one of them. I've had a few things that I've had to get through, and I'm taking care of those things right now. So I haven't been able to travel. Part of it was because of the health of family members and lots of things that were going on. So that's what I'm saying. June, everything should be done by June of next year. But my trip to Machu Picchu is still, that's the one. I can't go till I get my passport, but the application for the passport is in, it's done. So what else? What else can I say? Um, I'm still hoping to do the trips to the baseball stadiums with my daughter. And we would do some car trips. We would do some planes because my daughter can't fly. Well, she doesn't like flying. Turns out she has high blood pressure, so she doesn't do well flying. So we're going to be doing some car trips too. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. That's why I can't leave right away. There are things that I have to work out first. Um, I'm going to start doing all these trips because I want to go to Malaysia. I want to go to the Philippines. I want to go to Costa Rica. I want to go to Panama. I want to go to Patagonia. I want to go to those places because I want to see if I would be able to make it out there. I know what I'm going to be earning. I know what I'm going to have. And I want to see if I can do it. So I've got to be there more than a week. I'm going to be there for some time. I'm hoping for at least 3 to 4 weeks. And I'm going to see what's the best place. I am looking at Spain seriously. I am looking at northern Spain. I don't know if I answered that question earlier. In Asturias, where the Noriega family originates from, in the city of Asturias. up in the mountains. So we're Basque. Patagonia. Oh my goodness. I am interested in Patagonia. But that's just where the home is going to be. I still want to travel. I've gotten to the point in my life where I want to travel. I didn't for many reasons. I'm not going to let that hold me back anymore. And I'm itching to go. And I'm looking forward to it. But like I said, got to take care of some stuff now, which I'm doing. Going to see what's going to happen. I have some issues in my neck that it should be taken care of by then. That's why there's some medical issues. I don't want to put it all out there, but it's like, what don't I put out there, right? So I'm just looking forward to it. I really am. But I'm also trying to grow this because I appreciate the conversation. I appreciate everyone here talking to me. And I've said, if you guys want to join me, let me know. I'll send you the link. You don't even have to have your camera on. I would be willing to accept you just joining where it would be just your voice. You can do it through your computer or through your cell phone. It's the internet link that would bring you into the program. And when you log in, well, you don't even log in. You just click on the link. It says verify your camera. Say no camera. It says verify your headset and your mic. And once you do that, you can come aboard. And if you guys want to share your stories, by all means, please. So I am looking at the future, and it looks bright. I didn't feel that for a long time. Physically, like right now, even though it doesn't show, I am having a lot of difficulty. And I found out that in the 2000s, close to 2010, some of my coworkers would, I'll do that right now. Some of my coworkers knew when I was not well, and there was a tell, and I had to twist finally one of the student workers' arms, and I was like, "Okay, how is it? How do you know?" And she wouldn't tell me because they knew when I wasn't feeling well. And I'll give you what the tell is right now. Patty, I'm going to send it right now on Facebook. So the tell was that when someone would come into my desk, when I would turn and face them, because I wasn't moving my neck because it hurt so much. So when someone would come up to me, I would physically move my body. That's how they knew. And it was funny because I didn't know that I had that tell. So, cousin. There it is. I just sent it, cousin. So, lethal migraine. I want to go to Southeast Asia, start in Seoul, and visit all the countries up to Tokyo. So I don't know what I'm going to do. For all I know, they may want to move. I don't know. I don't know. That's why I'm going to have to work some things out by the time I get to the summer of next year. But I am looking forward to it, and I'm really excited about it. So we'll see. We'll really see. So if you have anyone that you guys know, but no, just kidding. I don't know. I'm just short of saying that. Here comes PF. What? Oh, yes, my cousin. Yeah, here comes PF. Yep, here comes my cousin. Ghana houses are cheap, and the exchange rate is 16-1. Wow, dude. Yep, that's kind of what it is in Mexico right now. I had always thought of retiring to Mexico, but that's when I was married with, and that was that plan. I don't want to do that one. I imagine the individual is going to move back to Mexico. I don't want to be in the same country. So I don't know. I don't know what they're going to do. So we'll see. 1,200 to 1. Wow. Yeah, I'm gonna have to keep my money in the dollar, which is what I would really do is I would keep everything in my American accounts and then I would just basically sell it to myself or whatever I would need to do. I could transfer it. And that way I wouldn't lose out on the exchange rate. Because I believe Argentina is one country that, yes, you can accept foreign currencies in Buenos Aires and way down in Patagonia, but that's about it. You can use credit cards and stuff, but there are limitations because you need to use the peso or the bolivar or whatever it's called there. I don't know. So I have to look at it and see. They have offices where you can trade U.S. dollars for their pesos. Yeah, yes. And I've seen videos, not unlike the Passport Bros, where they talk about how you can do stuff like that. It's some of it's really creative. And I thought I was creative on some stuff, but no, they're really good at what they do. Lethal Migraine says, go to Addis, Ethiopia, 121. Addis, that's over there in the Persian Gulf. Oh, no, and near the Red Sea, right? Oh, well, Ethiopia. Duh. Yeah, it is. So, um, is my cousin going to join me after all, or did she just want the link? Maybe she's just trying to get in there. I don't know. She's not here yet. All right. Well, maybe she'll be able to figure it out soon enough. But I don't want to say no. I was asked earlier by Sammy about the body types and stuff. And I think I answered that it's my preference to know. A good person is a good person. But again, I don't want to be a homebody. I've been a homebody for a while. I don't want to do that anymore. So that's why I said I want a real oof. Oh, there's that word again. I want. No, 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 no. I would hope that they would be willing to be able to get around, get about, and do stuff. I'm not judging anyone, but I would like them to be, normal, I guess. I'm not saying that they're abnormal. It's just, I'm getting in trouble by saying that. I'm not interested in an overweight person because I've dealt with overweight people in the family and their medical problems are so tough. I'm really not interested in anything like that. So I know. And Sammy is right. A significant portion of people in this country and in many parts of the world now are heavy. And what is the definition of heavy? So my brain is broken. The big city in Ethiopia is called Addis Ababa. I don't know. She might be. She might not. It would be my cousin to kind of mess with me that way. I think she's trying. We'll see. But if anyone would like to share their stories, you're more than welcome to join. If you want to have a direct conversation with me here, you're more than welcome. On Blog Talk Radio, we would just give you the phone number and you'd call in. But obviously, it's a little different right here with us on StreamYard. She's probably not going to. She got paid off by who? You? You, Michael? Michael is a host here on the network, and he has a program, Talented Universe. And you'll notice he signed in on that one at first. Where was it? Where was it? There it is. That's Talented Universe on YouTube. And he interviews quite a few people. You should check them out. It's kind of neat, kind of cool. I think it's just taking her a while to get on right now. I ask you to forgive me because my ears are all red because of the earphones. Ugh. I didn't have them in properly. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I messed up on that one. I don't want to say no to anything, but those are my preferences. Can't figure it out? Just click on it. It's okay. I'm sorry, cousin. It's probably, it could be the phone, it could be the iOS, but yeah, I'm sorry. I guess it is a little more difficult then. But I do want to, I do want to thank everyone with their comments right now. You have been by all means beyond positive. I am forever blown away every time I do a program. I'm actually kind of embarrassed in doing this and putting myself out there. I mentioned to you what I want to do with this channel or with this program. I want to be able to be where a lot of people are exchanging ideas and a lot of people can learn from one another and we can move forward. It's not about the clicks, it's not about the viewers, it's not about any of this. But they used to have a lot of people that would be there in the comments. You just couldn't read all the comments because there were so many people there. And based on even just today, I am floored by everyone who's been here and who's commenting. And it's really cool. And as it grows, I think we'd all be able to learn from one another. Go to Greece, great food, great weather, great women, 313 to 1. That's the exchange rate. Wow. Yeah. I could do with the Mediterranean lifestyle. Oh man, I would be open to that. There's no doubt. So yeah. I'm sorry you weren't able to get in right now, cousin. Maybe what we'll do is I'll go ahead and try to get a hold of you during the week, and maybe I could walk you through it because it does have it throws our guests from time to time, and it's not all that easy. So, but if you guys ever want to join, let me know. We'll send you the link. We'll either put it in the chat room or, and the link is unique for that program only. It's like having its own phone number for each program, which is kind of cool. It changes from episode to episode. So that way I'm not really worried about giving that link out because once the episode's over, the episode's over. So it's kind of cool. Early in the program, I talked about the do's and don'ts of dating apps, and that was what I was going to do today. And I'm really happy that I was able to do that. If there's a topic that you would like me to discuss, please let me know. What I'm going to do is in the description of the next episode for next week, I'm going to put a possible list of upcoming topics that we could talk about. And maybe we could do do's and don'ts on first dates, do's and don'ts on reaching out to your intended date, what you do on phone calls, what you do on text messages, emails, and stuff like that. You never know. Politics question. Secret Service is required to protect presidents for 10 years after they get out of office. When Trump goes to prison, do they go with him? We've never had this issue before. Actually, lethal migraine, what happened was effective with the Obama administration, it was going to be 10 years. They changed it again. It's for life. They did. They got rid of it from life. They said 10 years. Nope, it's back. So, what will they do if he goes? I don't know. I really don't know. I don't believe that they should go. Secret Service should not go. He's a criminal at that point. No. I've looked at the polls, Rosa. He had to win Pennsylvania. And that one is still, if you look at the numbers, it's close as heck. But he had to win North Carolina, and he's lost North Carolina because of the Senate or governor candidate. He blew it when he endorsed that guy because the numbers just cratered. And whether or not he wins Pennsylvania, he had to win North Carolina. He's not going to win North Carolina. So, just to give you my opinion on that. Now, there was a poll that has rocked the political landscape today. It's out of Iowa. And the poll was done by, I forget the young lady's name. She's been doing it since 2012. This woman is like the gold standard of polling in Iowa and in polling. She's never been off by more than 5 points, and she's always within the zone. She got it right in 2012. She got it right in 2014. She got it right in 2016. In 2018, I think it was her one that she got it wrong. I think it was a governor's race. But she was off by less than 5 points. Seltzer, yes. Thank you. Folks, this is huge. So let me explain to you. Kamala Harris is now winning in Iowa. Come on. She's up 3 points. Unheard of. In 2016, he won Iowa by 11 points. In 2020, he won Iowa by either 7 or 8 points. Numbers are going down. If, in fact, the numbers have changed to the point that it has softened, that's dangerous to him. Iowa's recent, well, they did vote for Obama as late as 2012, but the numbers have softened. She's never been off by more than 5 points. So let's just say this. This is why it's such a tectonic bit of news today. That if she is off again by 5 points, the maximum that she's been since 2012, that means the 11%, which drops to 7, which now dropped to, well, +3 for her. Let's say she's off by 5 points. That means he's still going to win the state by 2 points. Everyone is expecting 11%. But in the last few weeks, everything has softened. And that is in a deep red state. It's not just Iowa. It's everywhere. So my professional opinion is he will not win the election. Now, knowing that the Republican Party has sued over 200 times, or they've had over 200 lawsuits for this year alone, that I believe is the saddest thing. When you are suing to prevent people from voting. Folks, that's it right there. That gives up the game. You're not interested in winning legally. You're interested in denying people the right to vote. I am against that. So fine. I don't believe in violence. I believe in everyone being able to vote. I am genuinely worried about the 70 people that have been elected in all these little precincts and counties that are election deniers. Folks, right here, this is the way it is. The Bush administration went against voter fraud. And for 8 years, you know how many people they got? 5. They got 5 people committing voter fraud in 8 years. Okay, big deal. BFD. When you look at the way precincts vote every 2 years, however, whatever, they're a living, breathing organism that they vote a certain way. They have what we call tendencies, or the way the way they vote. And the numbers remain about the same from year to year. Sometimes there's a proposition that gets a few people out, or there's a polarizing individual, or a major event in history. But the metrics remain the same. There's always a plus or minus. And this is what people who have said there's voter fraud, but yet they don't look at the precincts and the districts. If you want to point out voter fraud, it's very easy. How you vote, no one knows. But whether you voted or not is public. All you have to do is verify with the voters. And every time the newspapers have done it, they have verified the numbers. Every time other media companies have done it, they have verified the numbers. But no one talks about this because it's not popular. When they talk about ballot dumps, that doesn't mean anything. How many votes were actually cast? And that's where you find the fraud. Precincts vote a certain way year after year after year. That's where you find the fraud. If a precinct votes on average 55 to 65%, a little higher during presidential years, a little lower during non-presidential, you can detect the fraud. The same people that vote always vote. And when they die, you get the new kids that come up. They're voting trends. And when the trends go askew, something happened. But that's not what people talk about. They talk about these fictitious 500,000 ballot dumps. That doesn't mean anything. Ballot dumps. That's nothing. How many votes were cast? That's what matters. And you count them by precincts. That's how you find the fraud. But people who cry fraud aren't interested in looking at that. This is someone who has been a poll worker, an election worker since 1998. I have volunteered. This is the first year I'm not volunteering due to health reasons. It's easy to find the fraud. Screw the bamboo in the It's stupid. It's all made up. Look for the fraud by the voting trends. But no one ever talks about that. I can detect fraud. Anyone else who's involved can detect fraud. But it's not exciting when you use facts. Facts don't care about your feelings. It's a personal opinion, but take it from someone who has been an election worker for many years. I've had voter fraud. I think it was in 2002. But after a while, we realized we made one mistake. The person signed on the wrong line. We had one case, and it was more stupidity on our part. But when you work a poll as a poll worker, you realize that everyone that volunteers does it for 2 reasons. Because they want to make sure it's being done correctly. And they don't pay very much. They just want to be able to do it again in 6 months, 9 months, or another year. They follow the rules because they want to get paid again. It's not that difficult, folks. Look at the numbers. Follow the trends. And all you have to do is verify with the voters. Call them up. Phones, their addresses. Go knock on the door and ask them, did you vote? Person that lives there, they'll identify themselves. It's not that difficult, but they don't want to do that because it's not popular and it doesn't fit their narrative. It's all based on the precincts. All elections are local. Half of America doesn't believe that. 40% of America believes that the Holocaust did not happen. 36% of America believes we did not land on the moon. 31% believes that JFK was assassinated by the CIA. And there's a bunch of hicks from Springfield, Missouri that believe in videos of cryptids. I don't know what to tell you. I will tell you this. I am an activist, and my family, over the last 6 months, wrote over 860 letters. They placed 400 phone calls. It was about 380. We'll call 400. To have conversations with potential voters. While other people sat down and complained, we reached out to potential voters. It's about making contact and having conversations. I believe that if we vote, we win. I'm not telling you how to vote. I'm telling you to be involved. If those SOBs in Washington knew that we all voted and we could kick them out of office, things would be different. But when you have between 45% and 60% voting, they win. We lose. We need to get everyone. It's crazy. Some of the greatest bits of legislation in this country were because Republicans and Democrats crossed the aisle and agreed on legislation. Under the Bush administration, senior, they passed the American Disabilities Act, where people who are deaf now see the little words at the bottom of the TV. The Clean Water Act under Nixon. And those are the ones that I remember right now. The Social Security Act of 1986. No, wait, the Great Tax Reform Act of 1986. Social Security was amended in 83. Tip O'Neill, a Democrat, and Ronald Reagan, a Republican, reached across the aisle and got together and completed some of the best legislation ever. And those are just a few that I remember right now. Right or wrong, ladies and gentlemen, the point is they reached across the aisle and they got it done. America is a great country because we've been able to put our BS aside, get to work, and get legislation done. There have been some disastrous bits of legislation. But that is the great American experiment that is this country. And we're all part of it. And it doesn't matter if you are right, left, middle. What matters is that you are involved and you take the time to contribute to the decision making of our future. And you do it by voting. The next step is holding them accountable. But that's another battle for another day. Right now, we need to vote. We have differing opinions. That's what it means to be an American, man. We're not part of some socialist state that tells us what to do, what we can say and what we can't say. We have the right and privilege to choose our own destiny. That doesn't happen in very many countries. And we have that privilege. I believe it's an obligation. I can't tell you what to do, but I can encourage you to be involved. And I do. And over the next few days, I will be having the political returns as I've done for years. I've been doing it for a little while. This is my Super Bowl. This is my World Cup. And I will be on air on Monday and Tuesday doing election returns. Well, not Monday, of course. We're going to be talking about it. You'll get my official prognostications. But it is looking, if there are no shenanigans, it's looking to be a blowout. I don't want to say any more than that because I didn't say who was going to win. I just said it's going to be a blowout. Folks, it's going to be one way or the other. Because if you look at certain states, let me tell you, I believe it's Virginia, or I don't remember the state, but there's already 665,000 ballots that have been sent out. You know, people voting early. And the one state, it was 39% Democrat, 40% Republican. That's real. People are voting early. Awesome. That's the way it should be. Yes, Rose, thank you. I vote by mail. I do as well. What excuse do you have not to vote? Some states, it is a little more difficult to vote by mail, granted, but I do agree. What excuse do you have to vote? It's crazy. The Electoral College needs to be torn apart. The Supreme Court is BS, and a lot of teardown is needed. And they have to start with those two things. Well, the 270 Electoral Compact is now up to 209 electoral votes. That's crazy. So if that passes, once you get to 270, all the states pledge that no matter what their electoral vote count is, whatever the popular count is, they will switch their vote to the winner of the popular count. I mean, I'm not exactly, hip on that, but I believe the Electoral College needs to go. I love the Electoral College because the competitiveness, but it is a thing of the past. It was established to keep power by a select group of people. Those days are over, in my opinion. But we all win when we vote. Again, I'm not telling you who to vote for. If we could hold these SOBs accountable, we win. That's my battle. Sorry for the soapbox, but folks, when this country gets mad, we make changes. We don't have to get mad. We just have to do what we need to do and hold them accountable. And then we win. But I thank everyone for having joined me. I am a bit on the tired side. There's going to be some programming on tomorrow. You want to check it out at ndbmedia.net, as I mentioned. Tomorrow, early in the morning, at 7 a.m. Pacific time, I believe a new program is debuting, the Troublesome Twosome or something. So check that one out at 7 a.m. At 11 a.m. Pacific time, the Actors Panel from the ARC will be on. And quite a few people have already committed to that one, so that's cool. On November 6th, Adam Bohannon, singer of The Voice, is on at 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific on November 6th. And Elizabeth Saunders She plays Donna from the Community House or the Frat House. That's on SFV at 10 p.m. Eastern Time, 7 p.m. Pacific. That's on the 26th of November. That's a Saturday, I think. Or a Tuesday. Sorry, it's on a Tuesday. So, a lot of those stuff going on. And I think Michael will change that Sci-Fi Vision Fandom Access on Tuesdays. It shows 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific. It will be changed to 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific. So, other than that, it's all good. I thank you all. We will be on again next Saturday, come hell or high water. But it's good. I wish I had my ballot right now to show you. Oh, check this out. I have been fighting with the electoral agency here, the Register Recorder. We've lived here for 12 years. And for 12 years, this ballot is sent to this house. And I've sent it back year after year. This person no longer lives here. They haven't lived here for over 10 years. And the ballot still keeps coming in. I'm so angry about that. Just so angry about it. So it's still sealed because I haven't opened it. I'm going to return it. I'm going to write on here. I'm going to do an episode on this. And I'm going to tweet the Register Recorder and say, 12 years. How long does it take? And there's, well, we didn't get it. Baloney. I've turned it in every year at the precinct. And I tell them, this person does not live. And they drop it in the box. Whole, like this. And I write on the outside who I am. And I attest that this person has not lived there in 12 years. Well, 8, 10, 12 years. And I still get the ballot. That's frustrating to me. But I will. iwillvote.com, I think, has all the ballots for every district. Interesting. I'll see it. Honestly, the only two things I care about the cycle, ending Trump and ending Ted Cruz. I do agree with ending Ted Cruz. He's got to go. He's got to go. He can go to Cancun. So, all right, folks, again, I want to thank you. I appreciate you spending some time with me. I am a little tired right now, and that's only because of how I feel. But I thank you for spending the time with me. Please, guys, listen to what I said. I didn't take either side, but I am an activist. I am involved. If you want to have a conversation, I'm down. But it has to be a conversation. There has to be a back and forth. So, otherwise, just go and vote. Do what you need to do. Everyone else, appreciate you guys. Love you guys. Don Royer is out for the day. And it's all good. We'll see you guys on the other side. Rosa, thank you. Lethal Migraine, thank you. Sammy, thank you. Michael, thank you. Patty, thank you. I appreciate you guys. Thanks for spending some time with me. And hope to see you guys again next week. We'll see you guys on the other side. Peace!